Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see the numerical on sway portal frame, part first, by stiffness method in the subject structural analysis 2. This is the statement of the numerical problem. Analyze the rigid jointed plane frame supported and loaded as shown in the figure by stiffness method. So in the problem, on the sway frame is given. First we have to recognize whether that frame is a sway frame or non-sway frame. Okay. Now for that we'll take a vertical axis at the center of the frame. Okay. Now we have to see on the both side of the vertical axis whether it is symmetrical or not. Okay. With respect to support, with respect to load, with respect to moment of inertia, and with respect to the length of the vertical member. Okay. Now here if you observe that at support at joint A there is a fixed support. Okay. Now at joint T there is also a fixed support is there. Okay. But if you observe here, these two supports are not at the same level. Okay. So due to that also there will be a sway in the frame. Okay. Second thing, the vertical member AB is loaded with a UDL of 25 kilonewton meter. Okay. And if you observe on the other side, the member CD is loaded with a point load of 40 kilonewton. So here the load is not symmetrical. Okay. So due to that also there will be a sway. Okay. Now if you observe, the length of member AB is what? 4 meter and length of member is CD. Okay. So due to this reason there will be a horizontal sway in the frame. Okay. So this type of frame is a sway frame. Okay. When the numerical on the frame is given, first we have to see whether that is a sway frame or non-sway frame. So this is a sway frame. Okay. Now as we know that our first step is to find out the degree of kinematic indeterminacy, or we also call it as a degree of freedom. Okay. Now for that we'll observe the support. So at support A, fixed support is given. So as we know that when the fixed support is given, what is the degree of freedom? 0. At support D, again the fixed support is given. So the degree of freedom is 0. Okay. Now at joint B, as it is rigid jointed plane frame, so here there will be a rotation. Yes or no? Okay. That will be what? Theta B. So theta for rotation and P for the joint. Okay. Now at C also there will be a rotation, and we'll call it as what? Theta C. Okay. And here this is a sway frame. So the third unknown will be what? The third unknown will be the sway, that is delta. Okay. So here the degree of freedom for this frame will be rotation at B, rotation at C, and third one is delta. So here the total degree of freedom for the given frame will be 3, that is rotation at B, rotation at C, and sway. Okay. Now second step, will assign the coordinate direction to the unknown displacement. Here unknown are what? Theta B, theta C, and delta. Okay. Now here anti-clockwise movement we are considering it as a positive, clockwise negative. Okay. Towards right positive, towards left negative. Okay. Now we'll assign the coordinate direction to the unknown displacement here. Now we'll call the first unknown is theta B. We'll call it at D1. Okay, this will be our first unknown. So number given to this is what? 1. Our second unknown is what? Rotation at C. This is our second unknown. And third unknown is delta, that is the sway. Okay. And here we are applying anti-clockwise rotation at theta B and theta C and sway towards right. Okay. So here remember that theta B is our first unknown, theta C is our second unknown, and delta is third unknown. Okay. Now the next step is to find out the AD matrix. AD is nothing but action corresponding to displacement in original structure. Okay. Now here, what is our first unknown? Rotation at B. So at joint B, is there any external force or movement acting? No, there is no external movement or external force is acting at joint B. So here AD1 is 0. Then second one is what? At C. Is there any external movement or force acting at support C? No. So again here G. And also that is the sway, that is 0. Okay. So here AD matrix is 0, 0, 0 because there is no external movement or external force acting at joint B or C. Okay. So AD matrix is 0, 0, 0. Okay. Now after calculating AD matrix, next step is to calculate ADL. ADL is nothing but action corresponding to displacement in the restraint structure. Okay. Now here what you have to do now, we have to restrain all the joint now. Here that means joint B and joint C. Our restraint means what? We are fixing those joint. Okay. So we know that when we are analyzing the frame where we are standing inside the frame. Okay. Now here this fixed moment will be due to the given load. Okay. So this is member AB. Now in member AB, it is loaded by a uniformly distributed load. Okay. Now the load is towards right side. So here to counteract this load, there will be a fixed moment in member AB in this direction. Okay. So this movement, as we are standing inside, this movement will be in anti-clockwise direction. So as it is in anti-clockwise direction, positive. So here we know the formula. What is the formula to find out fixed moment when it is loaded by UDL? It is WL square by 12. What is value of W? 25. What is value of L? L is 4. Okay. The length of member is 4. So 25 into 4 square by 12. So the value is 33.33. Okay. Now the fixed moment in member BA. Okay. So it is in this way. Okay. It is acting in this way. Fixed moment are there to balance the load. Okay. Now this movement, as we are standing inside, it is acting in which direction? It is acting in clockwise direction. So here it will be minus. So this will be what? Minus. W is 25, L is 4 divided by 12. So we are getting what value? We are getting value minus 33.33. Why minus? Because acting in clockwise direction. Okay. Now member BC, it is loaded with a point load of 50 kilonewton, which is acting at the center. Okay. So this load is acting downward. So here this will be a fixed moment in member BC. How it is acting? It is acting in anti-clockwise direction, and this will be the fixed moment in member CB. How it is acting? It is acting in clockwise direction. Okay. Now the load is given at the center. So what is the formula to find out the fixed moment? The formula is WL upon 8. What is the value of W? 50. The length is what? 3 divided by 8. So we are getting value 18.75. Here also both the values will be the same. Only the sign will be different. Here in fixed moment in member BC, it will be plus 18.75, and fixed moment in member CB, it will be minus 18.75. Because here the moment is in anti-clockwise direction, here the fixed moment will be in clockwise direction. Okay. Now we'll find out the fixed moment in member CD and DC. Here the point load is 40 kilonewton. The load is not acting at the center. It is at 2 meter from support C and 1 meter from support D. Okay. Now the load is towards the left. So the fixed moment in member CD will be in this way, and fixed moment in member DC, it will act like this. So it will counterbalance the given load. Okay. Now here the fixed moment in member CD, it will act in which direction? Anti-clockwise direction. So plus. Now we know the formula to find out the fixed moment when the point load is not acting at the center. The formula here it is wrong. It is WAB square. It should be WAB square upon L square. So what is the value of W? Now here A value is what? 2. And what is the value of B? It is 1. Okay. So W is what? 40. A is 2. B is 1 square upon L square. So we are getting the value 8.89. Okay. Now here the fixed moment in member it is C. It will be what? Minus, because why minus? Because acting in clockwise direction, W A square B upon L square. So what is value of W? 40. What is value of A? 2. What is value of B? 1. And what is value of L? 3. So 40 into 2 square into 1 upon 3 square. So that value is 17.77 minus. Okay. So in this way we have find out the fixed moment in different member. Okay. Now here in this numerical we are having the third unknown. Okay, that is delta. For that we have to find out the reaction at support B and support C. Okay. Now in member AB, it is loaded with a uniformly distributed load of 25 kilonewton meter, and the length of the member AB is what? 4. So what will be the end reaction? End reaction will be what? W. It will be WL by 2. So what is the value of W? 25. What is the value of 4? So 25 into 4 divided by 25 into 4, it is 100. 100 divided by 2 is 50. So 50 will be the end reaction at A and 50 will be end reaction at B. As the udel is acting towards the right, this reaction will act towards the left hand side. Okay. Now in member CD, it is loaded with a point load not acting at the center. So here what will the formula will be what? WB by L. Okay. So what is the value of W? 40. What is the value of B? 1. What is the value of L? 3. So what answer we are getting? 13.35. Okay. Now here what will be the formula to find out support moment at D? It will be WA upon L. So what is the value of W here? 40. What is the value of L? A 2 and L is 3. So we are getting answer 26.67. Okay. So here we have found out the support reaction. Now first step is to, first we have to find out ADL1. Now this ADL1 is due to what? It is due to the rotation at C. So for that we have to find out what moments are there at joint B. So in member BC, what is the moment? It is acting in clockwise direction. So minus 33.33. So here we have taken minus 33.33, and also the moment in member BC. So it is acting in anti-clockwise direction. So it is plus. So what is the value? 18.75. So ADL1 will be what? Minus 33.33 plus 18.75. That value will be equal to minus 14.58. Okay. Now ADL2 is due to what? Rotation at C. Okay. So at joint C, there are two movement. One is what? CB. Another one is what? CD. So what is the fixed movement in member CB? It is acting in clockwise direction. So minus. And what is the value? 18.75. And in member CD, what is the movement? It is 8.89, acting in anti-clockwise direction. So minus 18.75 plus 8.89, the value is minus 9.86. Okay. Now ADL3 is due to the sway. For that we have to find out the support reaction at B and C, that is horizontal reaction at B and C. Okay, we have considered that towards the right is positive and towards left is negative. Now here 50, this 50 is acting towards left side, so minus, and 13.35 it is acting towards the right, so we are taking it plus. Okay, so minus 50 plus 13.33, so we are getting value as what? Minus 36.67. This is our ADL3. Okay, always remember that ADL1 is due to the rotation at B, ADL2 due to the rotation at C, and ADL3 is due to the sway. Okay, so respectively we have find out the value of ADL1, ADL2 and ADL3. Okay, now after calculating ADL values, the next step is to calculate the stiffness matrix value. So determine the stiffness matrix formed by the forces in the resistance structure subjected to unit values of what? Unit value D1. D1 is nothing but what? Theta B. D2 is theta C and D3 is delta. Okay. Now the first step in this will be what? We have to restrain the structure and we have to apply the init rotation at joint B. Okay. Now here we have applied the init rotation. So here the init rotation is applied. Okay. I change the color here. Okay. Now here, we know that init rotation is applied always in anti-clockwise direction. Here also the init rotation is applied. Now when init rotation apply, what will happen? This member BC will bend like this. Okay, and this member, okay, and change the color. Okay, so this member will bend in this way. Okay, now here, when the init rotation applied at the B, what will happen? There will be a movement induced, okay, in member BC. So that movement will be induced in anti-clockwise direction. Here I am drawing the, so, okay, and here also the movement will be induced, sorry. And this will also in anti-clockwise direction. So what will be the value? So that value will be equal to what? It will be 4EI upon L. 4EI upon L. In the both the member. That means in member BC as well as in member BA. So here we have written in BA and BC. What is the value? 4EI upon L. 4EI upon L. So what is the number given to this? Here this number is very, very important. Now we know that we are writing S. Okay. Now here where the init rotation is applied at theta B, or theta B is our first unknown. So I will write down here 1. Where init rotation is applied at theta B, and that is our unknown number first. Okay. Is that clear now? Okay. Now next is, now when we apply the init rotation at B, there will be a movement induced in member CB, and that will be also in anti-clockwise direction, and that will be the half of 4EI upon L. So half of 4EI upon L is nothing but it is 2EI upon L. Okay. So it will be 2EI upon L. Okay. So here what will be the number now? So here what is the unknown number? So theta C is our second unknown, and where init rotation is applied at 1. Okay. So it will be S21. So S21 will be 2EI upon L. It is for which member? CB. Okay, put the length 3, so we get the value of S21. Okay, so at S11, as two members are connecting BA and BC, so here we have taken the two value 4EI upon L. The length of member BA is 4, length of member BC is 2. If we solve this, we'll get this value. Okay, now third one is what? The sway. Okay, now here we have considered that. Okay, now here we have shown here, this is the delta now. Okay, now due to this delta, when we apply the rotation at B, so the sway index will be what? 6EI upon L square. Now it is for the vertical member, always remember that. Okay, so 6EI upon L square. Okay, this is for vertical member BA. So what is the length of member BA? It is 4. So 6EI upon 4 square. So the value is what? 0.375 EI. So here we are writing what now? S31. Why S31? First, what is the unknown number? The unknown number is 3. Delta is our third unknown. And where init rotation is applied? At joint B. So joint B is, theta B is our first unknown. Okay. So here we have written S31 is equal to 0.375. Okay. So when we are considering the delta or sway, it is for the vertical member. So sway is not for the horizontal member. So consider the length BA. Okay. Now next, the second unknown is what now? Theta C. So we'll apply theta C equal to 1. That means we'll give init rotation at joint C. And here also there are two members are connecting. Which are those? The first one is what? The first one is CB and the second one is CD. So there will be two values. Okay. One is, so here one is CB and second one is CD. So movement induced due to this init rotation here in this member, it will be what? In which direction? Anti-clockwise direction. I will change the pen color. So here the movement induced will be in anti-clockwise direction. Here also it will be in anti-clockwise direction. So what will be the value? 4a upon L in member CB and 4a upon L in member CD. Okay, put the value of L here. What is the value of L? 3. So here I think so value is wrong. Here it should CB. Yes, the length is 3. Both the lengths are same, and in CD the length is 3. So after solving this, we'll get value what? 2.67. Now here we have written S22. Why we have written S22 for this? Because 2 is what? The unknown number. So theta is our unknown number 2. And where the unit rotation is applied at theta C, and this is our second unknown. So here we have written S22. Okay. Now the half of the movement will be transferred to the member BC. Okay, this is member BC. So what will be that value? That value will be 2A upon L. Okay, half of this 2A upon L in member BC. Okay, now here we have written S12. So here theta B is our first unknown, and where unit rotation is applied? At theta C. So theta C is our second unknown. So here we have written S12. So it is 2E upon L. So 2E upon L length is 3. Okay. Then here the sway now. The sway is what? This is the sway. So what is value? 6E upon L square. Now here, which is the vertical member? CD. So 6E upon L. What is the length of CD? It is 3 square. Now here we have written S32. Now the sway is our third unknown, and where unit rotation is applied? At theta C. Theta C is second unknown. So here we have written S32. Okay. So after solving this, we'll get the value of S32 as 0.67. So here we have calculated what? S12. Then we have calculated S22, and here we have calculated S32. Okay. So now next is what? We have to apply the. Okay. Now next we have to apply the sway, that is delta equal to 1, and we are assuming the sway is to in which direction? The sway is toward the right side. Sorry, the sway is toward the right side. Now here we have assumed that the sway delta is toward the right side. So this is the sway delta in the both vertical member. Now here two vertical member are there, AB and DC. Okay, or we can call it as CD or BA. Okay, now here, now due to this vertical member, now this delta, okay, now here add this will be theta B and this will be theta C. So here we'll call it as what? Yes. Okay, yes. What is the unknown number? Unknown number is 1. Theta B is our unknown number, and where unit rotation is applied? At delta. Delta is our third unknown. So this is S13. So this will be our what? Unknown number. Theta C is our second unknown, and where unit rotation is applied? At 3. So this will be S23. Okay. So for both the values, the what will be the movement induced? It will be 6E upon L square. Okay. Now here this is for which member? BA. Okay. What is length of member BA? 4. So 6A upon L square, that is 4 square. So we are getting value of 0.375. Yeah, this is S13. What is value of S23? Again 6A upon L square. But what is length of member CD? It is 3 square. So we are getting value 0.67. Yeah. Now, okay. Now here delta. So delta will be 2. One is for member BA, other is for member CD. And that value will be what? 12A upon L square. Okay. So here we have written S33. So this is one first and this is the second. So this will be S33 for member BA and this will be S33 for member CD. So what is value? 12EI upon L square, 12EI upon L square. So 12EI. What is the length of member BA? 4. What is the length of member CD? It is 3. Okay, so from this we'll get the value of S33 as 0.64. Now here we have calculated S13, S23 and S33. And all the values of S11, S12, S13 as well as S21, S22, S23, then S13, S23 and S33 we have put here. Okay, so this is our stiffness matrix. Okay, thank you. The next part of this numerical we'll see in the second part. So thank you for watching.